Folks, this live stream is brought to you by my sponsor AAA FX. Now, they're a fully regulated broker in Europe and South Africa offering Forex indices, commodities, crypto, and over 100 stocks. Now, at AAA FX, you pay no commission on any Forex pair using their ECN Plus account and low commissions on cryptos and stocks. Plus, you can deposit with cash or crypto, get a free VPS with deposits over 5K, and easily integrate the well-known copy trade service Zulu Trade. While you're waiting for the stream to start, go and check them out by clicking the link in the description, comments, or visit AAAFX.com.
Good morning, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. So I'm going to load one of my templates to show you guys how it looked. Let's see here. All right. So here's what we had marked up for the 30-minute. We wanted to break out of this trend line in this box, and we did just that. We broke out. Boom, tapped it, came back down into the consolidated area, and then pushed up a little bit out of it and came back down. Now we're sitting in this zone. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and go to a completely naked chart and show you guys what I'm looking at. And Gabe, thank you for that, man. Thank you. And I'll go into detail on that here in just a little bit. Let's see here. So when we look at the daily, we've got obviously still in all my buys, guys, which is fine by me. Let me show you what we got. So on the daily, we have this wick fill area here that we've got. And then we have this one over here to the left. We'll go and mark this one up like that. And that way we don't have too much of a mess on here. We've been rejecting this area since we fell in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 days. So for me, obviously we could push back down to this gray box, and this is where people get messed up whenever they're trading, and they're like, man, let's just go ahead and take a buy right now. I mean, you can, but you can still fill this box, and it can retest anything in here and bounce around like this. So if you were to take this buy, then you're looking at a 342 pip, obviously, stop loss, which is massive. Okay, we're not going to do that. So when we go to 30-minute look, we've got a dot to dot break, which is going to fall right there, just like that. All right. So for me, any trades that I'm looking for, I want to break above here to here, which puts us in that other wick fill zone, and then we need to climb up. I'm personally not taking any more sells. And the reason being, I explained this on my Zoom the other day. If you zoom out, this right here is all your COVID territory. Once you get down in this area, it's no man's land. There's no structure that we're going to hit anywhere that we would fall through here. So for me, I'm looking for buy opportunities. We just have to figure out where those buy opportunities are going to take place and how they're going to take place. So from this gray box, like I said, it can still play anywhere in this area that it wants to. I'm looking for buys somewhere up through here. And that's just what I'm looking at. So I may not take a single trade, or we may take trades. Let me look at this. Where did you find the dots on Carbon Capital FX? Log into your dashboard in the back and click on helpful videos and scroll all the way down to the bottom. And I've already got that set. All right. Has he been buying all the way down? No, I've been selling all the way down and then taking buys at partials on the way down. So the way that I trade, I'll show you guys real quick. Say I'm looking at this chart as a whole. Whenever we started shorting up in this area right here, as I short and 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 I short, from here to here, I've made almost $7 million. On the way down, all I'm doing is half of my positions that are my buys. So let's say I take a buy. Let's say I got in on this wick fill right here and I took a buy at $100 a pip right here. When I close that buy out at my TP down here, somewhere along this way, I've entered partial positions less than $100 a pip. It could be like $10 here, 20 here. That way, no matter how much profit I make on the way down, I'm risking half of that profit to have anything that happens on the way up. Let's see here. What's up, Jeremy? Glad to have you here, bro. So now there's one cool thing about this gray box that you can play. When I was talking about, and granted, that's a big stop loss. It's 360 pips, but you can play buying anything that rejects off here and using that as your stop loss. As we can see, in the gray box, we bought up, gray box, we bought up, gray box, we could buy up. If we buy up to that trend line, that's a 298 pip push. So you can base your leverage off this. And let's say you were like with this trade here, let's say I'm willing to risk at 300 pips. If I'm willing to risk $1,000 on this trade, I'm showing you how I use examples every week because we got fun money to play with, right? So at $3 a pip, you're basically risking $1,000 for any position to buy up to here. And it's almost, you're going to be close to 300-ish pips. So it's almost a 1-to-1. It's not ideal, but that's where you'd click buy here to push to here with this being your stop loss, knowing that this gray box is your daily wick fill. So if it pushes out of this daily box, then that means we're going to go down further. How much further can we go? When we look at this area here, I mean, basically from here to here, that candle right there, I'll turn those red. That is more or less your danger zone. Like that. So we know that right here is where it could reject on the weekly based on prior time frames. Dun, dun. I got the intro video stuck in my head from this live stream. So yeah. So you can play this many ways. You can say, okay, this would be a weekly rejection. I want to play a buy from here to at least that trend line again, because it could reject here and come back down. It could continue to push down here. I mean, it's a pretty weak open when we look at it. I mean, right there's your open, and we got a 98 pip push out of it. That's pretty weak if you ask me. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys hit like. So, so if you went buy, oh yeah, I turn my trade levels back on. All right, so if you went, look at that, my entry up there is right on the daily. Then you would take this stop loss right here and drag it to the bottom. Look at that. I said almost 1,000. We're pretty close. It's $1,008, and you need to be 10 pips off of that. So technically, right there. So $1,037 is your risk if you're playing that buy up. And there would be TP 800, 900. So pretty close. And if it went back to the bottom of the daily, 1,500. So not terrible. So that's how I play these wick fill zones. Now, Andy, you play a wick fill zone, are you always going to win? Probability on wick fill zones is decent. I'd say out of 10 of the daily wick fill zones, you're probably going to end up winning about 6 of them, losing 4 of them. As you saw last week on the live, here on Trading Nut, actually, we played a wick fill zone. We lost it. It was like a $2,100 loss. And we did a buy stop right outside the trend line and played another wick fill zone. And then that one turned out to be a trade that ran almost 600 pips, which turned out to be a massive trade. Because I think we entered it at, I want to say we entered it at like $25 a pip and some change. So, I mean, almost a $15,000 trade. So not bad. Yeah, and that's the reason I like to use these examples to show you guys. This right here is, I mean, this is, any trade that you take that's got that big of a stop loss can be a big risk for someone. So while I'm explaining it, I also like to show you guys how it plays out because, I mean, losing, if this trade gets knocked out at $1,000, that's not going to hurt this account whatsoever. But it shows you guys a real live example of how I would play a wick fill area. And if we get down here in this red zone, I mean, obviously you could risk, the same amount for the $1,000 and use the same stop loss. Because again, that gray box is your daily area down here on the bottom. Dun, dun, dun. Excuse me. Guys, sorry I'm having to clear my throat. It's that time of the year here in old Tennessee where allergies just run wild. So it's not ideal. Dun, dun, dun. And then look at our G bounce right back up. So EU is still below our red zone. AUD still down. CAD J still down. And U, nope. And Bitcoin still chilling. What's up, Roger? What's up, Austin? So quiet today. Normally in my house, I've got the kids going crazy and I got the dogs barking, and today it is just silence. So what we'll do today is, let's see. Yeah, allergies are killing me, Scott. But I mean, it's only about the first maybe couple of days really of the season. Well, I say a couple of days, about a week and a half, 2 weeks of the season, then I'm golden. So for you guys that are looking at this trade for what I'll be doing, breaks above this trend line is really that's going to be the golden push if we can get up here. If we can't get up there, then so be it. We wait until Monday. Big plans for me this weekend. I'm going to be chilling with the family. Same with today. Kids got homeschool. We're going to get done with homeschool. I got a couple of meetings I've got to attend. And then from that, I mean, that's really it. It'll be a pretty chilled out day. Weekend, we got a couple of parties we have to attend. My son's birthday party is on Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun, getting to catch up with, some friends and family, and getting to see some of his friends come out and play and chill for a bit will be a lot of fun. So, so it'll be a good time, man. Good time. But thank you for asking, Roger. Thank you. Man, thank you, Roger, for that. I appreciate it, man. Is there a method to how you add orders? Seems like all the good traders add to their winners. I'm not sure. You mean like stacking positions? Thanks for streaming. Thank you, Sebastian, for being here, man. Thank you for being here. Talk about stacking positions. Yes, I stack. And if you go back and look at any of so if you go back and look at Trading Nuts videos, you're going to see tons of videos on how I stack positions. And basically, I just wait for a break of structure. That's all it is. It's just a break of structure. If you continue to have break of structure, then you continue to take those trades. And then some people just stack to stack. If they see a trending movement, and let's say it's completing the bearish. Let's say that you've got a movement and it's completing bearish movements like every 30 minutes or every hour candle, whatever you're looking at, then they'll stack based on that as well. So, I mean, there's many methods you can do it. I just use breaks, meaning, if I'm looking at 30 minutes and we had a rejection here, I would take a sell off this rejection. And if we had another rejection here, I'd take a sell off this one. But like I said, for me, I'm just not sell heavy at the moment. When you've got 5 days of daily rejections, then I mean that's typically a sign that you're not selling past that point. So being that we're down all the way into COVID territory, you don't want to be that person that sold at that area and then stuck in that sell if it decides to push back up. So buys have a smaller stop loss at the moment. So that's kind of, where I'm looking at it. Hi, Andy. Volatility varies every day. How do you choose the right time frame setups every day? I trade market open. Till about 10:30. And then after that, I'll look at, the market towards the London time frame if I'm up and about. And that's really it. I close the computer and I'm done with the trades. There's absolutely no reason for me to stare at a computer screen all day. My goal is to live, to enjoy time with my family. And that's exactly what I want to do. I don't like to stare at a screen all day, and I don't like to create a ton of content as far as, influencer type stuff. I'm here to trade. I'm here to teach, and hopefully people learn, and then it's back to living my life. That's it. Good question though, Sam. Since the market is heading down, would it be beneficial to put a limit buy anywhere? You can play limit buys right there in that COVID territory area. If you just look at your weekly chart, look to the left, and you'll see, right there around the February timeframe when we dipped into that area. And, it could be a good entry. But again, I'm kind of just playing it day by day right now, being in this zone. We've been consolidating in the same daily zones now for a while. I think an entire week, basically. Yeah, you're looking at, ever since we dropped down on this wick right here on 9/23, which was 7 days ago, we've been trading in that whole entire area. So, when you see that, it's kind of, we need to get out of this area one way or another. We need to fall or we need to go up. And obviously the stop losses are smaller with buys than sells. So that's where I'm at. Thank you for teaching. My goal is to learn this so I can speak. Yeah. And that's what everyone's, as you become a trader, the goal of everyone should be to learn, become profitable, and then to pass those teachings to someone else. That's the goal. That's what I tell people, once you figure this out, teach some friends, teach some family. I'm sure people have people over at the house for cookouts. So you have people at the house for cookouts, talk about trading, show them the charts, have fun with it. That's what I did. You'll have people that'll call you crazy. But once they see the life that you're living and they start seeing, how much freedom you have and how much free time you have with your family and your kids or your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, whoever, they're like, dang, maybe I should get involved in this and figure it out. No, I've been talking the whole time. Dan, you're losing sound. Dun, dun, dun. And obviously, once you get a few friends, involved with it, you start having fun with it. If someone's got someone else to trade with, it makes it more fun. I've got a group of buddies right now. They'll meet up and, have coffee, look at the market for 15, 20 minutes. Look at the market 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30, analyze it, and they just have fun with it. I don't know, Mahmud or whatever. Not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, so the wick fill that we're looking at right now, I go here and actually go to this one. So let's say you're looking at this daily right here. You would do a wick fill. The only wicks that I'll use are the dots. So I'm looking at the daily, and I'm going to fill in that daily like this. And I know that this is the area we've been rejecting. So we need to, anything that we get on top of that is going to be your buying. You can look at your 30. And then when you look at the 30, you've got another swing low over here to the left. So you can do like another channel within it. You can color it or you can use lines. And you can say, okay, this right here could possibly be an area that we reject. All right. So obviously that 30-minute candle went in there. We push back up. We got on top of it. We're pushing back down. So we need to be on top of this gray box pushing up for a solid entry. Well, you've also got a dot to dot that you're able to connect right here. So basically on top of this box, on top of this trend line, we push up. TP for that trade, TP1 is going to be right here. We can color this blue. So if we get into buys, this will be TP1 like that. And this is where we need to head to. And you can throw a fib fan on it just to kind of get a general idea of, it's only 30 minutes, so you're not going to get a lot of room. But if you throw the fib fan on here, you can see, came up, bam, 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 fell. And this kind of gives you another break. So if you didn't want to get in on top of just this gray box, you can use these trend lines as entries for your buy on the way up. And then if you want to, you can move this fib fan up like this. And this kind of gives you, okay, I'll get out on this break, or maybe I'll enter here. And it just gives you more areas of where you could get into that trade. Yeah, man, it's been a while. It's glad to see you here, bro. Hey, Tommy. I'm unable to add demo funds to my demo account. So, just whenever you open a demo account, you select the funds that you want whenever you're opening that account. You're not going to add funds to a demo account. You can add funds to a real account, but demo account, you're just left with the funds with whatever you open it with. So you would have to open up a new demo account if you're needing additional funds. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. So, Zachariah, we're looking for buy opportunity. So we're looking for really buy opportunity. Anything outside this gray box, or on top of this trend line, which would be really nice. I mean, dot to dot's going to be reliable on any of your time frames. I like to use it the most on the 30 because it gives you a really just clear picture of support, resistance, structure. I mean, everything is just there as you watch it. And if you go to the daily, you're going to get some nice anchor points. But 30-minute and 5 minutes kind of my go-to. Automate trading. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, I mean, the 1 minute, I started using the 5 minute because it consolidates our candles. When you go to the 1 minute too, if you've got a daily zone marked up, it won't show that gray box right there. So going to the 5 minute, it shows the gray box. So I just like to consolidate since we're all on here looking at the same thing. And the markets for the last few New York Opens, it's not been a crazy market. It's just been ranging. So good morning, Megan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for that. I don't have a boot camp planned. I'm taking the rest of this year and next year off from doing any boot camps or in live person trading. I've got the Dropout Kids University, which is so close to being done. It's like 90, I'd say 97, 98% done. We're working on a few security patches on the back end, and then it's up and running. And that's going to be for all my educational stuff. In-persons are great, and I had a ton of fun. But man, I've been doing in-persons since 2019. And then prior to that, I had 1 year off in 2018. And then I was doing them from 2014 to the end of 2018. So I had 2019 off, maybe 2018 into 2018. 2018 into 2019 for about 7 months in between both of those years. So from 2014 until basically now, I've had about almost a year off. So it's time to chill out and just relax and enjoy the time with the family. Can you go over why you're looking for buy opportunities above that trend line? It's a dot to dot 30-minute trend line with structure. And then right above that trend line, if you look here, this is our daily and weekly zones for obviously the COVID areas. This is a nice 30-minute dot to dot connection. This trend line that we have over here was another break that we took, that we ran up, which you can see the lines that we had over here, and then came back down. It didn't touch our trend line, but it touched our red line through here, which would have been consolidation and support. Came back, boom, 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 tapped it again, pushing up. So the goal is just to get on top of this gray box, on top of this trend line, and hit TP1 right here at 29,739, and that'd be a solid trade for the day. If we get on the break on the trend line, you're looking at 297 pips. If you're playing the gray box, could be 559 pips. Depending on how you're playing your rejections or whatever. But that's what I'm looking for. Obviously, doesn't mean it's going to happen. I would love for it to happen, but it's the game we play. We try to find structure. We try to find a trend, and we hope that it goes as planned. And if it does go as planned, we make a little bit of money. And if it doesn't go as planned, well, then we lose the trade. Thanks, Andy. How do you give your wife and family what they need after a long work day? Well, my work days are actually pretty short. My work days started around, if I'm trading live, they start around 9 o'clock, and then I'm over at about 10:30. From if I'm having to do a full recording for Carbon and I'm having to do those things, I try to do all my recordings before my family wakes up. or when my family goes to bed. That way I'm not missing any time with them. So like, for example, me and Hannah like to have our night times together. I mean, obviously we're together all day, but when the kids go to bed, we'll typically start our day around, I say our date night around 10:15, 10:30. Typically ends around 2 to 3 a.m. And then we'll go ahead and head to bed, go to sleep, whatever. I'll set my alarm clock. If I'm having to get up, I'll just set my phone on vibrate, put it underneath my pillow. 4 o'clock, 4:15, it goes off. I get up, I knock out, 2 to 3 hours of content for Carbon, and then I head back to bed. And that way I'm not losing really any time with my wife and kids. Now, previous life, when I was working, give or take 18 to 20 hours a day, I wasn't able to give my family what they needed. I was completely beat. I wasn't present with my wife, and I wasn't present with my kids. And it was about a 4-year stint / sacrifice that I made that sucked, but I knew the outcome. And the outcome was, if I can just do this for 4 years, after the end of the 4 years, I'm going to be able to be at home with you guys every single day. I'll be able to spend all day with you guys, and it'll be the life that we want. So, at the beginning, it can suck. And it's a sacrifice that both parties have to make. But if you've got an end goal and you stay true to yourself and you get to that goal, well, life kind of then is, bright, sunny, and beautiful. So the Signals for Carbon Capital is run by another analysis that I believe is in Australia, I think. And then they run for the live markups. And then the signals themselves run off of EA. So the EA will pull anything that it sees in structure or past breaks, and then that's what it throws out. Yeah, I mean, sacrifices are worth it. I mean, the guy you see there, Danklife15 in the chat, I mean, he's known me for, God, almost 25 years, 25 years, something like that. And I mean, he'll tell you, there was a point in time where I was never home. I was never present. It was terrible. But I mean, it's the future vision that you see. What? Oh, camera's not on.
Oh, I saw your face.
Yeah, but I didn't. It's not added to the screen. Yeah, his name is Dan. His name is Dan. They may be on my countertop or the bathroom. I honestly don't remember where I put the Porsche keys. But he drove. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I drove whatever. I mean, my life has taken like extremely highs and extremely lows. I mean, there were times where, when me and Hannah first got married, within the first year, she's got, she had 2 cars. Yeah, she had 2 cars. She had a new Land Rover Defender, and then she had I forgot what she had when she had the Defender. She had a Defender and something else. Not that I'm aware of, sweetie. Yeah, hold on one second. Guys, I'll be back. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. But yeah, I mean, and then I had during that time I had my Lexus IS300, which was an '02 model, and that was in no, it was when me and Hannah first got married, it was '04. Yeah, so I had an '04 and '06. I mean, that was practically a brand new car. And then I had my Land Rover, and then at that same point in time, I ended up getting a couple of Integras. I still had my BMW convertible. So I mean, like I had some fun cars. And then a year after that, started building an IS300, started building an E46 M3, built an Audi S4. I mean, life was great and had a ton of money coming in from all kinds of different resources. And then started grinding and realizing, man, I've got all these cars sitting here. I'm putting this money into it. We need to downsize. So me and Hannah ended up selling all of our cars, keeping one car, and then we just shared one car and did that for like a year and a half. And then life, we got back up on top of life, made some more investments. Things went well, got into the normalcy of life again, had fun there, and then was knocked down again. Two businesses I invested in went bankrupt. Business partners ripped me off, took money from me, and we had nothing. Like when I said we had nothing, there was no money. I pulled a Hail Mary, and we ended up living with one of my friends, Zach. And we lived with him for, not the Zach y'all know, his name's Zach Rad. Lived with him for almost 9 months, 10 months, just to get our feet back on the ground. And during that time, I hustled again, worked my butt off, did as much as I could to invest, build businesses. And then that was in '09. And then in 2010, 2011 is when everything started taking off again for me. And keep in mind, during all this entire time, I still work in corporate America, just throwing odd and end jobs out there. So, it's yeah, he does, Dan. So I mean, like I said, we see life for what it is now. It's like, man, that's amazing. You've got all these fun toys. You and your family seem like they're doing good. You got a nice house and all this great stuff. And it's like, dang, but it was at some point in times I sat there and just wanted to scream because it seemed like everything that I was trying to do, I'd move forward, 5 steps and get knocked back 15. So you just have to be persistent. When you was working, what was she doing? She was working as well. So when me and Hannah first got married, she worked, excuse me, as a floor manager at Lowe's, and she was there up until 2007 or 8, and then she quit from there. Her family needed some help at their family business, so she went and helped run the family business for about 2 years. And then after that, that's when we started opening up businesses together. So I was like, if you're going to work over here and make X amount of money, why don't we just create a business and then you work the business? So, opened up Chemix Nutrition, Atomic Muscle, and all that stuff for a bit. And let's see here. So opened up Atomic Muscle and all those, Chemix Nutrition, Maximum Fitness, all kinds of things for years. So she would run, the customer service for that. She would actually help with some of the logistics of where packages were going. She would sell to, she was like a salesman. She would work in the warehouse. She did everything, and she did that on top of being a mom. So I'll post pictures from time to time on Instagram because that's something I tell, even women and men. It's like if your wife does not support you, or you don't support your wife, depending on how you're trying to, which one's building the empire for your family, and or you're not willing to work together, it's going to be really hard to have the dream of your life, So, and a lot of people are like, well, because I hear a lot of women and men alike, they're like, well, as soon as we had kids, our life just changed and couldn't chase our dreams and goals. And it's like, I'll argue that. My wife had 3 kids. And there was at one point in time that 2 of our kids would sleep in the sleeping bags in the front of our office where our supplement company was. We had like a little office up front, foyer area where customers would go. The kids would make them a pallet. They'd sleep in there. Lyndon had just been born. So she'd be strapped to Hannah's chest on one of those baby carriers, and Hannah's in the back with me. And, we're punching out orders at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it wasn't the most ideal life by any means. Our kids' schedules were all screwed up. They didn't know what day it was, the difference between night and day. I mean, it was what was home, what wasn't home. I mean, they probably spent more time at our shops than they did at our own house. But we had a dream and we had a vision and we saw it through. And I think that's the most important part. There's a lot of people that are roaming through life without a plan. They think they have a plan, they think they have a vision, but they continue doing the same thing day in, day out. And it's like, you can't do that. Every week has to be better than the last week. You're going to have crappy weeks, but as far as the work you put in, it has to be there. Like if you're a business owner and you look at your, bottom line and your profits, and if that is not moving over the course of 6 months, then you're not moving forward. So the same thing has to happen in life, in relationships, everything. Your relationship should be better now than what it was last year. And I can't say a husband because I don't have a husband, I have a wife, but so like me and Hannah's relationship has to be better this year than what it was last year. And if it's not better, then it means we're just staying the same. Now, people will argue and say, well, man, when you're together with someone, because me and Hannah, we've been together for 18 years, married 16. At some point, it's going to become stale. At some point, it's going to become boring. And I'm like, well, it will if you let it. When you got that attitude of I have to be better and I have to do better, I mean, that's where you're at. Continue dating the person you're with. If you ever get content, so does your relationship. So, I mean, I apply it to every aspect in life, from business, relationships, you name it. But yeah, she was working her butt off, man. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Dan. You're welcome. How is your friend Zach that helped you for 9 months? Man, Zach is amazing, man. He's the epitome of life. I probably don't give him as much credit as I do. And I mean, I would say 99.9% of my life and where I'm at today, is because of him, from the fact that, if he wouldn't have given me that opportunity to catch myself back up, it would have probably taken me 4 or 5 years to get to where I needed to be, just in that, short 9 month, almost year stint that he gave me at his house. And he was also a voice of reason. He's very, very smart, very smart. One of the smartest guys I've ever met, to the point that he almost has to make himself dumb just to talk to other people. He was over the nuclear power division, or some kind of nuclear development here in the US for a company called TVA, and then went to work for the government, and then left the government, did some contract work, and then I think went back to the government. I mean, the dude's just a genius. But when it comes to real life and how you kind of work through life, super smart. So we had a lot of, heart-to-heart conversations, some that, hit home, and I mean, was a punch to the gut, but just amazing guy. And yeah, he's living an amazing life. He's on the beach, he's traveling. He's just taking life for what it is. So Edward, you're right. Friends like him are hard to find. And, like I said, that's why we all have to give people opportunity. It's like Giuseppe, living with us. I wanted to supply him opportunity to do better and, to chase his dreams. And that's what I'm trying to help him with. And if it works out, amazing. I did everything I could do, and if it doesn't work out, then that means the ball was on his court and he fumbled, because every day I'm dropping bombs with Giuseppe on how to get better at life, how to manage relationships better, how to make more money. I hold him accountable every day. At the end of the day, when he comes home and, we're sitting in the kitchen, either eating dinner or having drinks, I'm asking him, how did today go? Are you better today than you were yesterday? Some days he's like, man, not really. All right, cool. And I just dive into him. So, I mean, I'm giving it my all to make sure that he's getting his all. And then we got, like Cody's coming into town. So Cody will be here in like another probably 2 or 3 days. Rudy gets in town in another week. So, I mean, it's, everybody's coming in to help build everyone together. So we'll see how it goes. Dan, I'm not sure what he's driving now. I haven't talked to him about his cars in quite some time. I know the last time I was talking to him, he had a car, I think, and a truck, and it was just a typical, something like a Camry or a Honda Accord, nothing crazy. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Go on the screen there for a little bit since nothing's happening here. We're just kind of chilling out. Most millionaires in the U.S. drive F-150s. Hey, I had an F-150. I love that car. Oh. So, guys, we'll run this till about probably 10:30ish or so and see if anything takes shape. Just a boring market open at the moment. I don't. Excuse me. Excuse me. I know a lot of people look at those reports, Paulo, but I mean, I don't. I follow just price. That's it. Price and structure, and it's what some people it works for them, some people it doesn't. For me, it obviously works, so I just stay with what works. I found that it's easier to do what works than try to reinvent the wheel for myself. Any open positions? Yeah. I've got a buy right there on my screen inside this daily gray box. So we'll see what happens. So Uncle Ted, he's silence in the charts. He's one of the OG traders. Me and him are like the dads within the trading community. We're the old guys. I like to end my day at 10:30. Obviously sometimes we've been on this Zoom till 11:15, but 10:30 as far as trading is kind of my sweet spot, only because one, I look at, so kind of give you guys the overall picture. My kids, wake up around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Me and Hannah will typically wake up around, 7:30 or 8. We'll wake up, check on the kids, see if they need anything. If they don't need anything, then me and Hannah will typically go back, in the bedroom. We'll sit there, get a cup of coffee, lay in the bed and just kind of talk about our day. We make sure that we're both on the same page with everything that needs to get done. We have a shared calendar together on our phone. So that way, if she's added something to her calendar, I can see it. If I've added something to my calendar, she can see it. So we're both on the same page. So we'll kind of look at, it's okay, here's my meetings I have today, or, I've got to meet this person at this time. I got to jump on a call here, or I need to do this. Then she'll say, well, I've got either, a nail appointment here, a hair appointment here, got to feed the horses, told the kids I'd take them to do X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. So we just kind of, use that morning time to just go about the day to see what's taking place. Well, from when I trade live, I like to be wide awake, obviously. So I had my cup of coffee in me, sit at the computer, at least 10 to 15 minutes before I go live. So I've kind of just got to understand of what the market did prior. I can look at the London session, all that mess, and then stay on until 10:30, 11 o'clock, get off, I'm done. That's an interruption, to my kids' morning, because one, it's taken me away for, roughly around an hour and a half to 2 hours from their time. So it could be time they want to go outside and play before, they start school, or they could want me to help in the morning with school. So there's just a lot of things that it interrupts with. So by stopping it at 10:30 and 11, it allows me just to get done and still hit any time that the kids want to play, go outside. Maybe they want to take a lunch break in between school and eat with dad. So I just come up with that hard time that just works for me. I do have 2 videos that hopefully get released this weekend. And it's basically a true day in the life of Andy. So I didn't have Noah record it. It's straight from my point of view, from my phone, from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. and it shows, I did 2 days. So I showed a day of where it's basically geared towards me and Hannah, meaning the nanny came to the house and me and Hannah have our time together, what we would do. And then I have a day of where it's more focused on the kids, where obviously the nanny's not present and it's just me and Hannah and the kids enjoying our day. And that way people see a full picture of, kind of what a day looks like, how I look at the charts, how I'm trading, the time I allow myself, everything. Hold on one second here. All right, let's see. Hey, Andy, when you get swing high, swing low dots, does the market tend to reverse direction? It's just showing you the lowest and highest points of the rejections in that area. So like we have that 5-minute swing low that's showing us that, price came down and then we came down and basically went tad below it and it gave us a dot as we pushed up. This dot down here can repaint as price continues to go lower. So what I like to look for is anytime I see a swing low dot, I like to look for a trade on the opposite direction of it, if there's opportunity. So if you're taking that swing low, there's really not, you've got a trend line that you could hit right there. Okay. So if let's say you're a scalper, you could have thrown that trend line up. And when you saw that swing low, you could have taken the break right here upwards this way, or you could have taken it off of this rejection when you saw this wick. So like when you saw this wick down here on the bottom, you could have wick filled it. And then as you saw that 5-minute candle come in, tap, swing low, and start pushing back up, you could have taken an entry anywhere through here, and then your stop loss would have been anywhere below that swing low. And Carbon Capital actually has a whole video they're sending out on wick fills and dots that should be out in the next couple of days. And then there's also on YouTube, if you type in Kurt Wheeler, I'll put it in the comments. It's Kurt Wheeler, Andy Peters. If you type that in YouTube, you'll see an 1.5-hour video on how I utilize the dot system. Good question right here. I'm going to share this question right here. Thomas says, I love using the dot, such a game changer. I know it only works on carbon. How do you feel about the longevity of carbon since we love using the dots? I feel 100% confident, 100% confident in what they do. As you guys know, I'm now the lead trading analyst for their company. I've got to know their whole entire team really, really, really good. And they're putting everything they have into this broker. The broker is vetted now in the industry. They have some of the best, I'm not going to say some of the best, they have the best customer service I've ever met in my life. It's actually real people that are real traders. Their spreads are unreal. You're looking at us now trading US30 and we don't even have a spread. It's anywhere from a pip to a half a pip spread. You go look at something like GU and GJ, which, typically runs crazy spreads. And as you can see, we can measure out there, not even a pip. It's like a quarter of a pip spread. Execution's fast. Everything that they do is just, I love it. And like I said, they're just putting a ton of work into their infrastructure to be the best broker. So yeah, I'm 100% on board with them. I'm here for the long haul. Oh, 1 second, guys. My wife just messaged me. True ECN, yes. So the way, guys, to set up these charts, because we're getting close to the 10:30 mark, so we got about 9 more minutes left. So one thing that I want you guys to look at on these charts for when we get off is knowing, go ahead and draw you a red line on 29,055 and 29,002. And that right there, when you draw that red line, that's going to be your weekly line right there of COVID territory. Anything below that red zone is basically the danger zone. And then your wick fill, you can use this 30-minute one here if you want to. That's your daily. So you can make your daily one right there. From the bottom of the swing low to the base of that candle is your gray area right there. And then if we can get on top of this gray area, get on top of this trend line, then you've got your TP set at 29,739. So go ahead and throw those numbers on your chart. And that way, when I end the Zoom, well, the live stream, I always say Zoom. When I end the live stream, you've got something to go off of. And if you're taking sells, you know, if you're one of those people that are taking sells, then you're taking a sell basically at 28,831. That's your break zone for sell, which is, you know, pretty dangerous in terms of stop loss because you're essentially running almost 1,000 pip stop loss. So not the best idea. All right. Nope, I'm good, baby. Thank you. Dun, dun, dun. So let's see here. Andy, how do you feel about MT5 situation since it's owned by Russians? No offense to any, but does Carbon have? Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's more of an Apple issue of, I mean, just Apple's being weird on some things. I mean, obviously, you can still get it on Android. You can still download it on a PC. I mean, there's no issues there whatsoever. But Carbon is working with TradingView right now to make their own trading platform, own trading view. What's up, Sean? Which is going to be amazing. So, I mean, obviously, if you guys know me, I love TradingView 10 times more than I love MT5. But since I trade on MT5, there's no reason to have TradingView. It's Uncle Ted said it best. He said, using TradingView to mark up and then execute on MetaTrader is the equivalent of writing your essay on paper and then going back and typing it out, to send it in. You're overcomplicating it and doing two things just to execute. So I've just always used now MT4 or MT5 to mark up on because that's where I'm trading. But within the next probably couple, I'd say by 1st November, they'll have their own TradingView platform. So you'll be able to go into Carbon, download their version of TradingView, and trade on it. I mean, that's simple. It'll be mobile friendly, desktop friendly, you name it. And that'll be something that they own, not just something they're having to use like MetaQuotes. Because, I mean, obviously, whenever you're using MetaQuotes is just a bridge to connect you to the broker. And that's where a lot of people were confused. A lot of people are like, oh, my God, with MetaQuotes and MT5 shutting down, the brokers are going to shut down. It has nothing to do with the brokers. It's just a pass-through to allow you to trade on. Like, there's many other platforms you can use other than, MT4 and MT5. So having their new platform is going to be amazing, though. Carla, so right click and clear all of them and then just put the lines that I have on here. I will try to share this. I'll try to get it up as fast as I can. I've got literally when I get off this meeting in the next 2 to 4 minutes, I have to run really quick to take care of some things. The buy TP, if we get on top of this gray box and this trend line is 29,739. So Carbon Capital is running an update right now on their back-end dashboard, and it should be completed within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Will it have the replay file? That I don't know. I don't know, Ruben, if it will, but I will find out and let you know, brother. It's amazing. Thanks. Would we be required to pay subscription to TradingView or because no, that's included. There's no subscription whatsoever. That is included on the trading platform itself. Full TradingView capabilities with an account on Carbon to trade on. You click buy and sell right there on the TradingView screen. What? Let's go. All right, guys, it is 10:30. We're 10:31 now. You know the play. You know what I'm looking for. I'm going to drop the free Discord link in here for you guys to see the announcement section. And that way we can all see how this trade plays out. I'll give an update later today. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat right now. So you guys be sure to click that link. That's going to be the free Discord for you guys to have access to the announcement section. So let's watch this trade. If you took this trade with me and you're obviously feeling uncomfortable about it coming back up, down, consolidating, obviously right now you're not in a ton of profit. You're at 30 pips. You can protect this entry or you can close it. Like there's no reason to lose an entry, depending on your situation. With me, I'm not worried about losing $1,000. It's nothing. It was used as an example. I'm going to hold it, run it, and then the true entry, is a break of this trend line right there. That's where we really want to get in. But if you play rejections are dangerous. They have a higher risk, but the outcome is typically better because you're getting in lower. Then here you go. And if you get up to the trend line, that's 260-ish pips depending on where it gets in. And then that's obviously the area where we've rejected prior. So, watch out for a little push down here. But again, we want that push up over that trend line for the buys to become really active. So that's where we're at. Now, if you click that link to the Discord, keep in mind you can go back and scroll through and see everything that's taken shape in our announcement section. You can see events that have been held. You can see how to access, mentorship platforms. You can see how to access the private Discord. Everything you need is right there. So again, be sure to scroll through there, check it out, and have fun. So yeah, that's where we're at. So you guys, almost 60 pips in profit. You can protect, close out partials depending on when you got in. Just know that, it's a high risk trade. It's Friday. We're in a massive consolidation zone. We broke here. We came back down. Since we've touched this on the 30-minute, we've been playing in the same zone for 24 hours. So we have bounced in this area for 24 hours. So just keep that in mind. But this is where we're at, and we'll see how it plays out. And if it plays out good, then it's a solid trade. If it doesn't play out good, well, it means we had a loss on trading nut, which hasn't happened in a long time. So, we'll roll with it and see what happens. But guys, that's it. Yes, 30-minute trend line. It's a dot to dot right here. So if you look at the screen, a dot here and a dot there, and that's what we're waiting for. And then you got this COVID, as I like to call it, rejection, which is where the 30-minute came in and we rejected and pushing up. So we'll see how this plays out and just go from there, guys. But again, remember, don't lose the trade due to your situation. If you were trading a very small account and that if this thing were to drop 100 pips, you're in trouble, go ahead and close the trade out and bank the 68 to 79 pips, okay? If you don't want to lose this trade, go ahead and protect it, close partials. If you don't know what that means you can take this, do that right there. You've now protected it, and you can't lose this trade. If price comes and knocks you out, you get knocked out, and you can close partials on this trade. So again, don't be that guy. But guys, that's it. Hope everything is great on y'all's end. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. If y'all can do me a favor and, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share, turn on notifications, whatever it is. Cam is allowing me to do this because people are coming here and watching this. The more people that we have come on, obviously, the more he's going to continue to say, hey, Andy, let's do this. We've been pretty stale in numbers, so let's share it. We've been at this 150 to 180 view count live for the last few weeks. So next Friday, let's share it with all of our friends, all of our trading buddies, and just blow this thing up. Because the more we show Cam that we've got people that are attending and we're growing, he's going to allow me to continue doing this. Because I can tell you right now, the only reason I'm trading on Fridays is because of Cam. If Cam did not have me doing these live sessions, I would not be trading live whatsoever. And yes, Elon, this is MT5 Own Carbon Capital. So guys, I'm out. Y'all watch this trade. Remember, if we can get a break, a nice 30-minute clean break above this area, meaning this 30-minute candle doesn't come back down and touch, and we can get just a clean break, I would say right in this area here, push up to this trend line, get on top of that trend line, we have a TP on our side of 29,739. So let's see if we can get it. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later.